Good morning everyone, or afternoon, or good evening whenever you're watching. Big news today, it's coming again. We're coming thick and fast. We had a quiet day Wednesday and now we've got a very busy day. So I'm going to talk about a defender from Girona who looks like he's on his way. I'm going to talk about the ridiculous fake news from a Wolves fan page about Krejčí selling the club. There's another link for a PSG midfielder, a brand new link, which looks like it could happen at this early stage. And also I'm going to talk about a former player we went for joining a rival. So let's start with the ridiculous. Don't know if you saw it, a page called Molly News on Twitter. I've got no idea who runs the page. I don't know if they're 10 years old, I don't know if they're 40 years old. But they said that they've had an exclusive source tell them from within the club that Krejčí is preparing to sell Wolves for fosun. Now, we reacted to this immediately, easy for me to say, last night on the Wolves 77 Club. This is what I had to say instantly when it dropped.
Well, you sound desperate to talk about it. I'll put it in the private chat to bring it up because our chat's live in YouTube and shut up about it, so we've got to mention it. I think it's funny. It's just funny, really. But what I will say, I'll give an example, didn't I? Of a few years ago, I actually heard that Neves was staying from someone who's very close to him. I tweeted it out. We got loads of abuse like this page is getting now. And it was true. Neves did stay for one more extra season. So it's not 100% untrue. Maybe they've got a friend that knows the dinner lady at Compton and she overheard Jeff on the phone to Zhao over in China discussing, and then she translated it from Chinese.
Our Mandarin fluent.
Yeah, but it feels like a page that just wants to get some likes and interaction. I jokingly quote tweeted it off our page and said, yeah, that's true, for a joke, and then people take it really serious, so I had to take it down. But yeah, it just feels like a page trying to gain likes, and it's worked because this is social media now. Loads of people are believing it, and people don't want to rule it out in case it is true, so they don't look stupid. But if it's not true, that page is just never going to be looked at in a serious way again. So it's risky if they're making it up. But for me, why would we bring in Chachua literally yesterday? If they were selling, we wouldn't be going in for anyone or signing anyone. They'd sell Larson to Newcastle, pack their bags, and get whatever money they wanted. So if it is true, I'd be happy because I want to see the end of Krejčí, to be honest. I'm fed up with him. I'd rather the news be that they're replacing Krejčí. We're linked with another defender today. That we wouldn't be linked with anyone if this was true, in my opinion. So, look, I'm not saying they're lying, but it looks very untrue. And this is the modern day football in a nutshell, where pages like ours, anyone make up a rumour and it gains traction and people believe it. That's just the way of the world at the moment. There's just very, very few solid journalists that are actually legit left, really. Obviously, I do a lot of YouTube videos on my own personal channel, and I think there's about 3 or 4 that are actually reliable, and you think, yeah, that will actually happen.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my thoughts. Look, I'm not saying that these lads are lying. It just feels very unlikely. I don't know where this has come from. If they are lying, they're just doing it for clicks and they haven't heard anything. It's ridiculous. It's just it's caused an absolute frenzy online, as you can imagine. It's actually surprised me how easy people believe stories like this from fan pages. It really, really does. Although I did mention in that video that I literally did hear that Neves was staying a few years ago, and that was true, but we got abused for posting it on the 77 Club, so it's always not worth it as a fan page. But anyway, in that video I also mentioned a Girona defender after Krejčí, Ladislav Krejčí. There we go. He's a left-sided centre-half for Girona. Obviously, we played Girona in pre-season. It's said that he's already agreed personal terms with Wolves. It's just that they've got to get the fee settled. He's valued at around 30 million euros. Now, Matteo Moretto, he's been so on the ball this transfer window, probably one of the most reliable journalists to follow in terms of Wolves news. He was all over the Guedes Real Sociedad news early and things like that. He's saying that this is pretty much, looks like it's going to get done if the fee is agreed. He's a 26-year-old Czech Republic left centre-back, 6'3". He can also play as a defensive midfielder. He has played as that before, so if we need cover desperately, he could fill in there too. He's a ball-playing centre-half, very good at on the ball, and He joined Girona for 12 million euros from Sparta Prague in 2024. So he's only been there a year, so they're tripling their money on him nearly if this deal is to go through. But Wolves are acting fat, and if we are selling the club, we're still after players at least. So that's why the two stories don't really make sense. But as you're watching this at time recording at midday on Thursday, it's looking very promising. So by the time later on, a few hours, it may almost be done. But at least we've got to get some cover for Toti Gomez at left centre-back. Be interesting to see if Toti keeps his place, because he is captain now, isn't he? Also, another link, a promising link, PSG, Carlos Soler, an attacking midfielder. He spent last season on loan at West Ham, making 31 Premier League appearances. And he's 5'11", 28 years of age, Spanish international, 14 appearances, 4 goals for Spain. And it's said that he will be leaving PSG. They've had enough of him, basically. They want him gone. So I don't know what the fee will be for this lad, but it's an area we are looking to bolster in attacking midfield. So watch your space on this one. That dropped not so long before I started recording this video, so be interested to see if anything progresses with that. And just before I go as well, if you remember Adley, who he was linked with, he's when I was in Benidorm actually. It says that we inquired about Adley. Nothing progressed in the end, and he's actually joined our next opponent's Bournemouth permanently. So Moroccan forward has joined Bournemouth. If he plays, you know what's going to happen. He'll hit the back of the net. But that's a couple of targets we've gone for now that have joined Premier League rivals. Evan Gesson to Villa was another one. But there we go. So at least today there's more promising news in terms of incomings after a quiet day on Wednesday. Please like the video, everyone. Really do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you are new to keep up to date with all the news and my opinions on the news, and comment your thoughts down below. Cheers everyone, and my next video will most likely be the Bournemouth preview. Cheers.